Hello, welcome. This is Tim's Maniac Sports. How's everybody doing tonight or this morning? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody. I hope everybody had a great New Year last night. Glad to be here. Man, with only 1 week left in the regular season, then the playoffs start. And shoot, it could be no more controversial though as far as for the seating, the um as far as for the NFC North goes, because I'll tell you that's fiasco that we have seen, to me. And I'm going to say this to me. I don't think the refs are telling the truth. I really don't. I think that crew sucks. I think that crew that called that is trying to cover their ass, plain and simple. You know, yes, Dan Skipper was reporting it all night, and that's what he thought. Um, Plus, you don't go uh, 0-6 with one referee crewing, and there always seems to be a controversial, uh, some type of controversy with this team. Plus, it puts Dallas where if Dallas and Detroit meets in the playoffs, uh, Detroit needs to go to Dallas again, which if Detroit actually would have stayed and won that game, uh, like they should have, uh, Dallas would be coming to Detroit. That's just hands down the way it would be. But yeah, I hope everybody's having a good day. I hope everybody's having a good day. I hope everybody's ready for the Michigan game because Michigan plays Alabama tonight. Hope Michigan can do better in the playoffs than what they have. Uh, because hey, let's just face it, they are good at making it to the playoffs the last couple of years, college playoffs, but they have not been good in performing when they got in the playoffs. Those are just facts. I'm 100% Michigan fan. Uh, I want to see them go in and take care of Alabama, um, and just get it done. You know, and then after that go to the championship game and then get that done. So hopefully they're able to do that. Um, but we'll get to see if they can. Uh, what is wrong with the Philadelphia Eagles? Man, they barely won last week, and uh, they have lost. They've been on a week losing streak for a while now. Other than last week, they won or they lost like the last three. Talking about backing into the playoffs, this team is backing into the playoffs big time. They were the ones that started off really strong, but like a lot of people said, they didn't really play anybody. Um, Really, the two teams that are in contention in the NF, NFC East, the only two real good teams in the NFC East is the Eagles and the Cowboys. Giants failed miserably this year. You know, so there was really no competition, and when basically most of your games are played against each other, you know, uh, and you have a weak division that just shows, that just allows you to do more, to win more. Uh, so that's the way it looked like. Uh, but to have the lead through basically 2/3 of the season, to be the number one seed to uh, through 2/3 of the season, and to make it in through a wild card spot after being the number one seed, that must be really, really frustrating for the Philadelphia fans. I can't imagine, being the number one seed that long and actually, you know, actually coming into the, you know, coming in and just basically being like a blowing tire at the end of the season. That's what they are. They're blowing tire. They just have not performed up to their capabilities. What are their expectations? Uh, to say. Um, but yeah, I'm going to end up sharing this. We'll go to we'll go over the games. Uh, get I want to wish everybody Happy New Year, of course. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys had a celebration for you guys who have to work on New Year's Day. I feel for you, buddies. It's I can understand. It's like you kind of get robbed out of some of the enjoyment of the holiday. So, but we all got to make a living here. Uh, Sadly, nothing's free in life. Um, but I do feel for you guys that got to work on New Year's Day or on any holiday. I know the way it goes. Uh, Fortunately, I have a job now where I don't personally need to work on holidays, so that's good. Uh, but what we'll do is we will go through the week 17. Of course. Uh, Thursday night, everybody knows Browns went ahead and just kind of spanked the butt of the New York Jets, sent them out crying, plain and simple. It's just they just went ahead and spanked that. Sure. I gotta watch my language. They went ahead and spanked that butt uh, of the New York Giants or of the New York Jets. Excuse me. Um, yeah, I did want to share the screen as I'm going through it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So yeah. Then of course you jump over to Saturday's games. Unfortunately, you can't hear the freaking mics. Uh, of the and I'll tell you one thing everybody needs to ask: does the NFL have something to hide? I think they do. I think all sports has something to hide. When you won't, when number one, you will not let the uh, players, the coaches, speak when your officials, your version of the police officers go ahead and either make a mistake or go ahead and just fully fully mess up because they want to. I mean, I cannot imagine the incompetence of some of these officials. You know, I mean, and that's, you know, incompetence, or are they doing what the refs want? Because I'll tell you, there is something mighty fishy in Dallas. Something mighty fishy in Dallas when you can't even get a name right. I mean, you can't even get a name right and report it right. You know, it's crazy. You know this. You know, it clearly shows, and it's been all over the um, the internet. It's been all over social media that that Decker went up and reported. It shows Decker walking up and talking to them. You know, and then oh yeah, I'm gonna if any of the Lions fans or any of the Lions players or if any of the Lions coaches go ahead and say anything, uh, then we're gonna fine you guys. But you know, like Green Bay can go ahead and tweet. You know, when the refs mess up, Green Bay can go ahead and tweet whatever the hell they want. Um, that's baloney. You know. But yeah, I really have not released a Maniac yet out on this topic. So, but this is something that needs to be looked into. Uh, and you know, the NFL needs to go ahead and have more accountability about what their representatives of these games are doing. You know, in all, you know, and because these affect the outcome. This one did not only affect the outcome of not only the game, but the number one seeding. You know, and this messed up call. I mean, we have seen, you know, we have seen coin tosses by different uh, crews that have been just totally messed up. You know, that one way back when the Steelers and the that way back Thanksgiving Day game, way back when the Steelers and the Lions played, and you know there was that coin toss. But hey, I in that one you did hear like two different calls on that coin toss, so I could have seen why the refs messed up there because it's like you hear them say heads, then you if you look at them, you hear them say tails, and it's like you know you can understand that, but you know, I mean, it's just you know. And by the way, if Taylor Decker did not report, then why would have Goff have even thrown the ball to him? So it was definitely Taylor Decker did report 100%. You know, I know what I know what the you know it's being said. I just it's just crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I and thank you guys. You guys are watching Tim's Maniac Sports. Uh YouTube. I'm also on Twitch. Also on X. I'm on a lot of places right now. So yeah, go ahead, sign up. It's I do want to concentrate on really being, you know, I'm also on Twitch too. If somebody wants to hop in and join the show, feel free. I posted the links in the chat. You got to have StreamYard to go ahead and hop on. But let's go ahead and let's move on from the Detroit game. Of course, Titans uh, they lay down. They lay down, and their season is over. Where the Texans just went ahead and just kind of gave them a butt whipping. Titans go to Texans, and it was three could only uh, score 3 points, where the Texans scored 26. Um, so hey, Texans put up a lot of points. Falcons had everything to win. Had everything to play for, but yet, and with a possible playoff bid and stuff like that, but yet they could not go into Chicago. I mean, maybe it's the fact that they're a dome baby. I don't know, but they could not go into Chicago and beat them. Uh, Chicago, Chicago is playing hot. Justin Fields is back. Justin Fields is back. Justin, if anybody remembers, and yes, I have said this before Justin Fields got hurt, um, and was gone for those few days, the 2 games before that, he was starting to play well, and he comes back, and it's like he hasn't really missed a beat because so. Um, um, and I know it could only score 17 points. Were the Bears scored 37 points. So it was kind of a can of whip butt that was opened up. Or if you want to say they opened up a can of Maniac on the Bears opened up a can of Maniac on the Falcons. All right. Uh, I lost my cursor. Uh, okay. Dolphins. OMG. OMG. What the heck's going on with them? Uh, They scored a respectable 19 points. The only problem was that the Ravens scored 56. The Ravens, this was a statement win by the Ravens. Uh, as we all know, Dolphins had like a 70 point score earlier against Denver Broncos. So they're a high power offense. But shoot, uh, these were considered the Ravens and the Dolphins were considered to be the top two teams in the AFC. Of course, you always gotta keep Kansas City as being like in the top three, even though Kansas City's been faltering. They did win last night, clinching their divisional playoff spot. Uh, but in a statement win over Miami, the Baltimore went ahead and uh, put up a total of 56 points, show that they were the dominant team, show that they deserve to be the number one seed in the playoffs. All all games go through uh, Baltimore this year. Baltimore, the former Cleveland Browns, the original Cleveland Browns. Baltimore is the original Cleveland Browns. You know, so so if you look at it, oh wow. Saints went ahead and surprised the Buccaneers. This was one of the games where Buccaneers could have went ahead and secured that playoff spot by beating the Saints, the divisional champions. But the Saints went ahead and bought out, played well, went ahead and beat the Buccaneers by 10 points at Tampa Bay. At Tampa Bay. So the Saints went in there to their divisional rivals and beat the Buccaneers. Now, see, this is what you know. This really shouldn't be a total surprise to a lot of people because these are two of division's foes. These are two teams that know each other, that play each other twice a year, every year. They fight out for the division, so they know the strengths, the weaknesses, and all the other stuff. So that's the way in a divisional contest will work out. You'll end up getting, it lets you have one team that's so superior over the other, like when they had Tom Brady, when Tampa had Tom Brady that first year, it was just, totally different. Um, okay, in a hard, moving along, in a hard fought battle, Belichick goes ahead and loses again. Uh, but it was a respectable score. They go into Buffalo. The Patriots, um, 21, Bills 27. Uh, so if the Bills beat the Dolphins next week, they're their division champions. If the Dolphins beat the Bills next week, then they're the division champions. A lot of people were saying the Bills were out of the playoffs, all this other stuff. Now they're relevant again. So it's the way things are. It's the way things go. Um, Cardinals, they go into Philadelphia. And yes, it was only by 4 points, 35-31. But they go into Philadelphia, which was which if Philadelphia would have won, they would have remained the number 2 seed. But they didn't. Uh, but the Cardinals go into Philadelphia and beat the Eagles 35-31. Panthers, I don't know. Uh, they they traded their first round pick to the Bears last year. Uh, they go into Jacksonville. No Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, this team has to be a depleted team because they can't even score 1 point. So they go ahead and they lose 0-26 with Trevor Lawrence not even being there. That's just shows how bad the Panthers are. And of course, I'm sure the team has given up and stuff like that because season's over. They have nothing to play for. They have nothing to really look forward to this year. And they don't even have the number one draft choice because they traded it to Chicago last year. But I guess they must want the because in the second round they'll be, of course they'll get that number one, the first pick of the second round and all the following rounds if they haven't traded some away. Raiders, Raiders dropped one to the Colts. Both these two teams have been kind of like at the end of the year. Gardner Minshew has been on a lot of sportscasters lists because hey, he's done a adequate job as quarterback. I know he lost last week. The Colts lost last week, but this week they came back. They bounced back. They beat the Raiders. Of course, the Raiders won last week. You know, uh, so that's basically what happened there. Gardner, Matthew Stafford. Yes, Matthew Stafford and the Rams edged the New York Giants 26-25. Man, I mean, it looks like Stafford's probably going to come back to Detroit, and not the way and not the way the Stafford fans really want him to come back to Detroit, because I know a lot of the Stafford fans, a lot of Stafford fans, and I have no animosity against Stafford or anything like that for wanting to trade or anything like that. Hey, good luck to you, buddy. Wishing the best, but I'll tell you what, if the Lions meet you in the playoffs, I'm a Lions fan, and the more sacks on you, the better. I don't want to see you get hurt, you know, or anything like that. But I want to see, of course, the Lions beat you guys in the playoffs if we play you in the playoffs. But yeah, so they dropped one, so the they went into Giant Stadium, beat the Giants by a score of 1 point, 26-25, LA Rams, and a lot of people expected, because hey, Rams have been hot the last couple of years or last couple of weeks. They've been, really playing well with, Cooper Cup and all this other stuff being back, and also that second receiver they got too. 49ers, some people call them the 40 Winers, but the 49ers go ahead and they end up beating the Commanders. No big surprise there. They go into Washington, beat the Commanders. Commanders season's been over with for a few weeks now. But 27-10. So the 49ers actually end up winning that. They secured the number one seed because you know of the loss. The Philadelphia loss yesterday, and also uh, the Detroit Lions controversial loss Saturday. So, and of course they have the tiebreaker over Dallas. But I don't know. Steelers are fighting to the very end, basically because Steelers went ahead and beat the re-emerging Seattle Seahawks. Uh, they go ahead and they beat the re-emerging Seattle Seahawks. Um, 20, 30-23, 30-23 at Seattle. I mean, so that is, that is just something at Seattle. They, the Steelers go in, and the Steelers they play tough. Bengals dropped one to the Chiefs, so the Chiefs go ahead and uh, stand tall. I mean, hey, Chiefs was looking pretty bleak. I mean, at the half, the Bengals had the lead by a few points, but hey, they really didn't do anything in the second half. The Bengals, Chiefs did. So the Chiefs go ahead and host the Bengals and beat them by a score of 17-25. Uh, Chargers and Broncos. Who cares games? Of course, everybody heard that Russell Wilson was benched. That might have been a good thing. Broncos went ahead and they beat the Chargers. I mean, it's the Chargers, you know. But uh, beat the Broncos. The Broncos beat the Chargers 9-16. Packers went into U.S. Bank Stadium and showed the Vikings, hey, you may be hosting, but we're still going to kick your ass. Excuse the language. I shouldn't be. So, I mean, it was not even a game. Um, uh, the Packers. are currently, in the wild card. They're like the last. They're like currently the seventh seed right now in the NFC. So sorry. Sorry about the noise from my phone. Uh, but yeah, so the Vikings dropped one to um to Green Bay. Green Bay, both these teams still had chances in the playoffs. Happy New Year's, go Bears. We will beat the Packers for you. Okay, okay. Yeah. I really hope so. I because hey, and of course we have to beat I mean we have to go ahead and take care of the Vikings yet. Because I don't want to back into the playoffs. I want to go into the playoffs of the final with a win. So basically this is what I want to do. And happy New Year to you too. Um, yeah, go in there, take the Packers out. Um, FTG all day. We know what that means. Um, and you guys got to get a little bit of revenge on the Bears need to get a little bit of revenge on the Packers because Packers, you know, Packers are the teams that goes ahead and they both like crazy that they're that that they own the Bears, especially Aaron Rodgers did, and Aaron Rodgers, we own the Bears, we own the Bears. Hey, 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 hey! Here's a man that probably just woke up because I know he works tonight. Wakey, wakey, achy, bakey. Time for pancakeys. Good morning from the West Coast. Tim's Maniac Sports family. Hey, how's it going, family? How's it going? Uh, Happy New Year to you, Grandites of 12. Um, Hope you had a great night. But yeah, Happy New Year. One more week, then the playoffs start. One more week in the regular season. Uh, one more week for the refs to mess things up. Is what I can say. Wow. So, uh, Ravens have nothing to play for next week. Yeah, go ahead and okay. Yeah, I talked about the Packers. So the Ravens have nothing to play for next week. So, um, thank you, thank you. It went all right. Uh, I did not go out. I actually did a little stream during the game a little, but I no, I didn't go out. I stayed in. Actually, I was kind of catching up sleep. I went out during the day earlier, but not for basically New Year's festivities. I'm not a real big drinker, uh, so the answer would be pretty much no. But yeah, this I enjoyed it. I enjoyed having the time off. It's just too bad I had to work and miss the Lions game live. Uh, that was the worst part that I worked Saturday. Uh, but and then I just had I would I was going to just go ahead and yeah, I worked Saturday. I was going to go ahead and try not to hear anything about the game at work. Just come home and watch the game. But my recording messed up, so I wasn't able to watch the whole Lions game. I watched part of it. um, and keeping it a secret, the score and stuff like that. It didn't help that I happened to have my radio turned on when I got in the car, and it had to been turned on to the station that just happened to have been playing the Lions game. So I heard the ending of the Lions game on the radio on the way home from work. So they shot fireworks here from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Wow, you sure as heck didn't get any sleep. Well, of course you're a night hawk too. I used to be, but a night hawk. But I'll tell you, lately it's been one hell of excuse me, one heck of a time trying to do things during the night because it's been hard. Um, but yeah, from 9 p.m. till 3 a.m. Wow, wow. Okay, now if you would have heard me yesterday, all right, if you would have heard me yesterday, uh, I explained it a hell of a lot better. Excuse the language, but that call did affect the outcome of the game. So yes, it did count. That should have been a win. You know, Dallas did not play well enough to beat the Lions without that call. Plain and simple, without that mess up call. So yes, there was other things that ended up uh, with a point after and stuff like that. But this team or this uh, ref coaching crew, this exact coaching crew team have the Lions are 0-6 on this coaching crew team when this team plays against them. Uh, there was also where you watched the game, yeah, and like I said, I wasn't able to see the whole game, but where um oh Troy Aikman is saying, where that hold was caught against one of the Lions players, and Troy Aikman was saying that should have been intentional grounding against Dak Prescott, but you know the rest wasn't really, and actually his announcer partner just went ahead and stopped him from really saying too much there. So yes, things are relevant, and I'm not going to change the way I do things, you know. But I do know that there were other factors uh, in what happened. He could have went for the tie. He went for the win. They got. I mean, you cannot tell me that Decker did not point it or report it. You can't tell. I mean, that just seems like it cannot be always the same thing. You know, it cannot just always be the same coaching crew, the same results. Who knows? If we would have kicked the point answer after, who knows? Because then it would have, yeah, would have went it would have went in, um, it would have went into overtime. So who knows? We would have had a chance. But I'll tell you what, Would there have been another controversial call? Would there have been something else? Now we would have tied the ball game. All right. And also in my stream yesterday, there was still like 26 seconds left in the ball game. So uh the Cowboys could have actually, with the awesome kicker they got, because I'll give credit to the players that do deserve it. The Cowboys do have awesome kickers. They could have got in to field goal range and actually won the ball game that way too with that amount of time. So who knows? Who really would have known how that outcome would have come if the ref did not mess up because the ref did mess up. Tim, did you hear Mike's rant after the loss? It was livid. No, I didn't. Actually, Mike commented on my show yesterday. I can imagine, man. Michael Mike, I gotta, yeah, I gotta really look up that because I'll tell you it was probably epic. I'm sure he was because I mean that's just the way that Michael that's Michael Mike's personality, Mike Camera. I mean it's and you cannot say it wasn't warranted. You know you can't say that. And then to put these gag orders on the players, on the coaches, because that's what the NFL does. And that in itself, and not only the NFL, okay, but all sports, they put a gag order uh, where you're going to go ahead and get fined if you say, so you got to practically be a lawyer to not get fined when the refs mess up. But yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, and the way I feel about it, more power to you, Mike, in putting that out and actually bringing. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, I didn't see it. I got a picture of it in my head because it's like I mean, but like we really don't know what that outcome would truly have been if the Lions would have got that. You know. Now, granted, the Lions had two other chances to actually make it afterwards. You know, that illegal touch, where they got intercepted, and then I mean the last part, where where Jared Goff did kind of throw a bad pass at you know after that too. So I mean you gotta so I mean it was if that pass would have been a better pass to tight end. Hey, the Lions could have got. Who knows what the rest would have did if the Lions would have got that 2-point conversion again? Would they have found another way to, take it away? I don't know. Now, one of the things Jim used to Jim used to get a little bit about a lot of this stuff too, living, and he might have broken another TV knowing him. But one of the things Jim used to say is when there's a call like that, uh, you should overturn the outcome of the game. But what you should do is you should go ahead and replay that, which would be harder hell to do. You should replay the game at that point. There's so many seconds left. But I don't know. And you may have been not you, Granddad Troll, but you may have been chewing me out Facebook user. I think that might be Vince. I'm not sure, but because I don't see it, but everybody in the media has been talking about that. Lions fans and non-Lions fans alike. Even Good Morning Football was talking about that play, about how that affected. So, don't go ahead and give me some flack for pointing out the obvious. I mean, yeah, you make valid points about, yeah, if they would have kicked the ball. There's definitely valid points. But the valid point is, too, is was that mess up? If that mess up wouldn't have happened, yes or no? Did the did you know did the Dallas Cowboys play well enough to beat the Lions without that? The answer is we'll never know because we don't know what would have happened in that 26 seconds that was left. All right, but yeah, that's topic has been beat over, you know, stick quite a bit. Uh, Okay, I understand the refs make bad calls. However, you can't consistently make that your narrative to excuse poor coaching choices. And yes, it was a bad call, but coach smarter and fourth quarter problems solved. You know, and I actually took that other stuff in account. Okay, you know that was and like I said, that was not the only thing. You know, I mean, so is this? I would like to know who's actually I'm talking to. So could you please post your name so that I can be? I am looking at and I respect your opinion exactly. So but it's not showing the name. At this day and age, with technology, poor fishing should be nearly non-existent. Exactly, I agree. I agree. Okay, so I was right. So it is then. Hey, how have you been? Now I'll tell you what. I did not. You guys, you guys did. You know, and you know what, Vince? I heard you take off some talk about some bad coaching stuff too. So on your Bears. Well, Vince, if you want to hop on the show, you're more than welcome. That's totally up to you. Roar of the Lions UK. Oh, shoot. Okay. There's a link right in my chat. But yeah, I'll need to get look. Oh, geez, I know. I gotta get that off there. I didn't mean. Uh, Let me stop sharing. All right. Okay. So yeah, uh, Facebook. All right. Okay. All right. Let me. Okay. Okay. I sent you a link, Vince. But yeah, you're more than um, welcome to hop in. Okay. Hey, the HI Network has a Twilight Zone marathon today. Yeah, I can. Actually, one of the Sherry, my wife, she was watching that. Yeah. Okay, so what brings out the Maniac you, Tim's Maniac? Oh, sorry, Vince. I'll get you in. Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Hey, it's good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Let me get the um, that way they don't hear you double.
Yeah, two of me could be a problem.
Yeah, I know. One of you is more than enough.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my wife.
Uh, yeah, I only got to see you every so often. Yeah, hard to believe last week or last year we were, at that last game and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the Lions have a good chance to do well in the playoffs. But like I said,
Mhm.
they got to stop playing around in the fourth quarter. They had a chance to tie the game. They were knocking right
Mhm.
there. I mean, he wanted to go for the win. I mean, but you're at the end of the season. You're in the playoffs. You're playing Dallas. Um, Play like you're in the Super Bowl. I mean, there's no ties in the playoffs, so you have to play with that mindset. Stop, you know, trying to play a game like that. I mean, yeah, it was a good idea, but the Detroit Lions have a good enough defense. They could have stopped Dallas, um, and then see what happens in the overtime. They probably could have pulled it off with their defense. So I think they really cost themselves. They can't. You can't constantly have a narrative and let that narrative define you as a team. That's embarrassing, first and foremost. They're a better team than that. They have good stuff going on right now. So you need to get rid of that narrative. Yeah, they lost. It was a bad call. Okay, move on. But don't let that define you. You cannot constantly walk around with that narrative. That's not, you should not do that. Just lose that. Move on.
That's true, but I do think that it's still important because it's this way in all sports,
Oh,
now,
I
and
agree.
it's not only the Lions, okay, but
No,
there does seem to be there's bias, and if you still need to bring things like this up because the only recourse that a fan has to go ahead and check what things are, because if you keep things quiet, keep your mouth shut all the time, things fester, things build up. All right. But when this seems to happen over and over and over and over, it does look like this is by that there are bias. Now, there's been very few ones where you look up where there's been just so much attention on it. This has been in Adam Shatner. he went ahead and was talking about this, this play and stuff like that. It's when you get robbed so many times, and it's been a lot of times. Now this was a day, this was also a day where Jimmy Johnson was there. There was, this was a big day for Dallas and stuff like that. Politics should not decide wins and losses. And like Grandizer 12 was saying, with the era of technology that we got right now, with the way that the USFL and the XFL has treated replays and stuff like that, uh, compared to with the way the USF or the NFL does it. I know the XFL and USFL are it's now the U. It's a new league date, but there are ways to actually put credibility to the calls that the refs do not put. Yeah, you cannot just use bad calls as excuses, but you shouldn't need to beat the refs and the other team. And I mean, hey, the line still could have, like I said, there was 26 seconds left. Defense could have held out, but you also have Dallas has a kicker that hasn't missed one all year. All right, so Dallas could have went ahead and marched down, got in field goal range, and that kicker could have went ahead and won that, or so we really don't know if that call would have been made, if the Lions would have really won or not. We don't know. But we'll
Yeah.
know.
And if you
You know.
look at Grandizer said, he's right. They got too cute. They got in their own way, and
Mm-hmm.
that's part of that. That's that coach's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, see, just kick the extra point. Yeah, and that's it. I mean, and it would have been very simple because kick the extra point. It's a done deal. You've got a tie.
Mm-hmm.
Now let the coaching play out at that point. That's what I'm saying. Because that would, that whole scenario could have played out much different for the Lions, and that's what I'm saying. Because they're doing so good this year. Rely on the things that you can rely on. You have good defense. Uh, you've been doing really good with some of the other things. I mean, hell, they've shown a lot of their skill set in getting the ball back in situations where they need it with their defense. So let that play out. Let that part play out. Forget about the
Yeah.
refs. Let that part play out. They could have done it.
Now, yeah,
They,
but we also
I
got to
think they
look
could have
at
won.
yeah, they could have. Um, but one of the things, the kicker for the Lions have not been totally 100%. Um, has not
Yeah,
been totally reliable as far as for even point after. I know there's been a couple point afters recently that they have missed. And like I said when you were on here too, is that uh is that um that they did have a couple other chances after that one that was taken away. That where Goff did throw that interception, but it was offside.
yeah,
So they got, and then that last play, they did have, the last one, Goff did throw a bad pass,
yeah. See,
to tight end.
we gave you
So,
a good running back, but we're not going to give you a kicker. So
well, we used to be able to, yeah. Uh, and this is exactly what I said. Could have Dallas drove down the field, kicked their field goal to win. I don't know. Yeah, and see, we we could never know that. We'll
no,
never know because of the I mean, that was a mess up, and that was a critic. It was, and you also got to. I mean, one of the things we're also looking at too is identity. Detroit and Dan Campbell has an identity. You know, he goes for. He's not. a guy that relies on your kicker as much as he relies on the uh the touchdowns, the extra. I mean, he has proven that. And I'll tell you, I have criticized Dan for some of this stuff too, where he goes ahead and he just, I mean, there was even a couple games last year that if he would have went for the field goal, where we may have been able to win. There was like a couple times even against like the Packers and I think against the Bears too, where if he would have went with the field goals, where things would have could have looked different and gotten a different outcome. But he has set up his identity where he and some of the things where he tries like uh, on like our own 26-yard lines to go for on fourth and stuff like that. Some of that stuff you think is crazy, you know.
Hmm.
But yet
I,
alone, Dan Campbell has been the one that has kind of, that has orchestrated this team to get their first, uh, their first NFC North championship ever. You know,
yeah. Well, are you getting ready for the other big game today?
Michigan. Oh hell yeah.
It's going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah, it is. That's for sure. It is. It's definitely going to be that. Uh,
Yeah. You think they're going to win?
Wow. Oh God. I sure hope so. I hope so. That's they God. Alabama has, I mean they haven't done too good in the playoffs. But you know what? They're due for it. I think they're gonna win. What about you?
I'm thinking they're going to win today.
Yeah.
This is their best chance.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, Alabama's good, but I think we have the better team. People may disagree by the stats and everything else because they've put the stats up there for McCarthy and their quarterback. And yeah,
Hmm.
the stats are one thing, but it's the
Hmm.
player. You got to really look at the player. And I think McCarthy has better decision making skills. I think he's just better with his team. I think he gets more for what he's doing. Um, yeah, the stats could be a lot higher, but you know what? Sometimes stats aren't everything. And that player, McCarthy, he has such a way about him. He's got such a way to make that team win.
Hmm.
And I don't care if you say, hey, the schedule was soft or whatever it was, a win is a win. Experience on the field, time played,
Right.
that all counts for something. So, and we have had some big games and we have shown what we can do with those big games. Ohio State, we dispatched them without a question. I mean,
Hmm.
we've dispatched everybody that was in our path that we needed to. And I think we're going to have an easy time with Alabama? No. It's going to come down to a lot of it's going to be defense on both sides.
Hmm.
If Michigan brings their defense and they bring quality defense and pressure and can contain their quarterback, we're going to win without
Right.
a question. If we can get some turnovers and really quiet them down, we should be able to win.
Hmm.
Um, and if we win today, the chance of us bringing home a national championship is going to become very real.
Right.
So
So yeah. So do you think Jim Harbaugh will be at Michigan next year or in the NFL?
I I want to say yes. I
Hmm.
think as a fan, I want to say yes, but I think if for any time in his, I guess what he's going to have to decide is it going to be worth it?
Right.
Are they going to keep coming after him for things? And if they are, then it's not really worth it. It'd be better just to move on so the kids can play football because that's really what he's all about is the program and
Right.
just trying to keep its integrity. I think they, some of the things that they went after them for are just It's out there. I mean, I can understand some of their points, but to keep coming after him, mm,
Mm, that question was for you. Granddad the 12 is wishing you a happy new year.
all right. Still hear me okay?
Oh yeah, we're hearing you. We're hearing you great.
Yeah. Yeah. But like I said, it's just a matter of time. We'll see how everything shakes out.
Hmm. Right. So, I know a lot of Bears fans were calling for Jim Harbaugh to go to the Bears. Um, I want your opinion on that. Do you think stay with Eberflus, or would you rather have Jim Harbaugh?
For the Bears,
Yeah.
if it was a, it would be, it would be, I don't know. I think it would be good. I mean, I think the team would really benefit from having Harbaugh for coach. I mean, there's a lot of choices out there right now. I don't think that Eberflus is going to be back. Um, uh, I think they're going to wipe that out. Do I think Fields is going to be back? I think there's that possibility that Fields will be back.
Hmm. Well,
So we're
Fields has. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, I think Fields. Um, yeah, I think he'll be back. He's got enough good stats going on to do that. I
I think.
lost one set of earbuds, so I got to grab another one.
Oh, okay, okay. I think Fields has earned the right to be back. You know, I think he's. I mean, he adds an element to that game that running style quarterback. Um, he's. I mean, he did. And like I did say, is he? Before he got hurt, the Bears were starting to win. He gets hurt, then the Bears go on a losing streak. He comes back, and then the Bears, they're relevant again. So I think it would be great to have him back. But what would you think about them actually going for a quarterback that if he, I mean, you get a quarterback that is another quarterback that is relevant that could eventually be the starter but could also be a backup if Fields get hurt. Would you, so with that number one draft or number one overall pick in the draft, what do you do? What do you think the Bears need most?
I think I don't know, and I could be. I mean, a lot of people will probably roast me for this one, but I really think Fields is adequate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're building an identity with their defense. The Bears have always been defined by their defense,
Mm-hmm.
and they won a Super Bowl with just a stellar defense and a
True.
mediocre offense with a mediocre quarterback. That's how they won it.
Yeah.
And I think Fields is better than mediocre. I think Fields has the potential to be good. I mean, most of his games are pretty good. I think that if they he's coached a little bit better, I mean, honestly, he has a lot of upside to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they decided to get rid of him, I mean, maybe an opportunity for Detroit to pick him up. So we'll see.
But would you be for them? I mean, for them actually keeping Fields and actually getting another quarterback that could kind of learn behind
I
him.
don't think I would waste the draft on that. If you keep
Okay.
Fields, I wouldn't waste that pick on getting somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
mean,
mean,
that's where I would be at. I mean, why would you want to waste that kind of capital on another quarterback if you have Justin Fields. I mean,
Right.
that would make no sense. You've got other players out there that you can pick up. And if you really look at the real stats, and I can't remember, I don't have it in front of me, but the one that they want, was it Caleb? Um, Two other quarterbacks have come from the same school he has and have been a bust in the NFL.
Right.
So if you go with that trend, that does not bode well in my book. So why would you want to go with somebody that has a potential to be a bust when you could get another wideout or another running back or more offensive linemen? Bolster that up. I mean, because really, truly, when Fields can actually move around, did you watch any of the clips from yesterday's game?
I was pretty well out of it yesterday.
Guess what? I got a new nickname for the guy. We're going to call him Houdini. He was getting
Okay.
out of tackles. He was slipping through. He was getting yards after. He was making some things happen out there. The guy has some unique talent. And I really do think that if the Bears continue the way they're going,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens coming up, because I really do believe that the Bears have something going their way right now.
Right. Yeah, and like okay, Granddad's 12 did yeah, if you keep Fields, might as well trade down and try to address some more draft picks, address some other holes and stuff, holes that you guys have. Uh, no, I was not drinking prune juice. Uh no, but yeah, go ahead and dress I mean address some of the holes. Um I mean, look at the way uh 49ers are doing things. They're Brock Purdy is an all right quarterback, all right, but he's not a top. You know, he's not no Patrick Mahomes. He's not no Josh Allen. But he has that good offense, great defense around him. You know, and of course, if you look at Fields is you know he can throw the ball, and he's also adds that element of being a good runner too. If you look at Brock Purdy and Fields, if Fields can go ahead and get the that offense around them like Purdy has, and with the stellar defense of the Bears, they could really make it happen. And we lost Vince, so you are welcome to come back on if you can. I know you might be having difficulties. Okay, Tim, drinking prune. Okay, but yeah. So okay. Do you think? uh, do you like prune? I like apple cider better. I really cannot say I really drink the prune juice. Unless it's blue Kool-Aid, because sometimes I drink that. Uh, at least that's what I've been told. I get on that blue Kool-Aid. Oh, but yeah, I do have the. I do think that if you bolster and if you bolster that offense and bolster the defense, I'm not looking forward to how the Bears could be in the next couple of years. I mean, heck, we had a hard enough time beating the Bears one game, and they kicked our butts the last game. So but yet the Lions need to. I think the Lions, if they bolster their defense up too, Jameson, well, I want to see Jameson Williams uh, get a bit better. Get the timing on. Uh, if him and Goff can get the timing together, uh, hey, welcome back.
Well, they had a technical difficulty here.
Hey, things happen.
We call that crappy technology with proprietary, and I can't say that on the air. So,
Okay, yeah, the FCC might go ahead and ban us. We don't want that to happen.
yeah, no. So we're gonna be careful what we say. But yeah, back on Fields. Yeah, I really don't. I don't think that a quarterback would be a wise idea. You have this number one pick,
Hmm.
and like Grandizer was saying, get some draft capital. Um, Poles has been great with that idea. He has done just such phenomenal work. I don't see uh, that they're going to get rid of Poles. I think that they're going to get rid of the coaching staff, and then they're going to move on to a different coaching staff. I think that's coming. But
Hmm.
yeah, to get rid of Fields right now, I don't know. I maybe they see something that the fans don't see. But honestly, I mean, why would you do that? I mean, he does have a lot of upside to him. Yeah, there are interceptions there, but at the end of the day, I think he has um, took a break to drink some prune juice. Seriously, dude. Um, wow. Um, yeah. So I really, yeah, I just don't see them getting rid of Fields. I don't think it would be a good choice. I think he has way too much upside.
Hmm.
Yeah, what will their salary cap look like? I don't know. I don't have it in front of me, but I think their salary cap will be. I mean, they got so much. They got so much right now going in their
Hmm.
favor for capital in the draft for their cap. I mean, polls cleaned up so much, and I
Hmm.
mean, but I guess on the other side, the problem is, and if you look at it from the business side for polls, and the part I don't like is if they keep Fields and they got to pick up his the 5th year part of the contract, which is going to be a substantial jump in money.
Hmm.
So if it's on the financial side, then I don't know. Yeah, and everybody else keeps talking about, well, Caleb is this once in a generational quarterback. They've said that about the last two quarterbacks that come out of that school. And I can't remember the name of the school that he came out of, but there was two other quarterbacks, and I wish I had all these things in front of
Hmm.
me. But uh, yeah, I mean, why? Why would you think that it's a generational if the last two were a bust in the NFL as well? Why? I mean, I don't see it. I don't
Well,
think I would spend that number one on that. I don't see it.
and it got to be the way your team wants to go too. I mean, it's
Yeah,
do you want to change your identity, and stuff like that. Now, look at C.J. Strauss this year. I mean, he's been one of the best rookies of all times. I'm sure Carolina wish they would have had him. you know, but
yeah,
so
yeah. And I
I.
mean, Fields has made a point to do check downs just to show people,
Mhm.
yeah, he can do check downs. He's made a point, and some of the interceptions were really bad, but some of them were
Yeah.
just no fault of his own. I mean, he was throwing good passes, he was throwing good stuff out there. I mean, some of them were just some stupid stuff. I mean, really, at the end of the day. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think he's good enough. Um, uh, his stats are better than some of the other
Mhm.
quarterbacks out there. I can certainly tell you his stats look a little bit better than Jared Goff's right now. So there is that. So
Thanks
that's
for the
my
little dig there. All right. So, Grandizer thinks Dwayne Hopkins was the QB that went to Ohio State. Rip. And Ohio State's, yeah, their quarterbacks have been good in college, but they're not known for being good quarterbacks uh
no.
in the in the NFL. So that's what once in a while,
Eh,
once in a while, some will go ahead and break that. Things are so much different. The speed, the time, everything's so different in the NFL.
Yeah,
You know.
and you think about it, it's kind of funny when you were mentioning about Harbaugh. That would be a unique. That would be something unique all of its own if he went to the Bears because Harbaugh has such a way about coaching quarterbacks. So um,
Yeah, you.
Fields and Jim Harbaugh, that would be a interesting combination.
Yeah, Ohio State quarterback with. Oh boy.
Yeah, that would be an interesting combination.
Yeah, yeah. Especially since Jim Harbaugh was a former Michigan quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, well, and Jim Harbaugh could teach Ohio State how a real quarterback is coached. So there is that. So where Fields couldn't have that good of success with Ohio State, he could have it with the Bears, with the Michigan coach. So there is that.
Oh, oh,
I know,
oh.
I know that's just, I know that's really mean, but I mean, truth. I mean, yes, Justin Fields went to Ohio State,
Yeah.
indeed. But
Mm.
I think if he had a coach like Harbaugh, I mean, Harbaugh could teach him how to be a real
Right.
quarterback.
Can you imagine if Atlanta drafted Fields? That would have solved a lot of their issues. Yeah, that's true because well,
Yeah.
well, I remember the Bears regretting one of the quarterbacks you guys passed up on. And you know who I'm talking about, I'm sure, Vince, right?
Oh yeah. And that's why I'm glad that we have the regime that we have in the office now with Ryan Poles.
Hmm.
Better sense of business, better sense of just getting things done. So I think that's a good thing.
Oh boy. So do you guys? I, okay, is the Ravens the best team in football right now? I gotta say yes.
I think so too.
I mean, yeah, I and
I mean, I
it's
wouldn't
like
look forward to playing them if I was
I
anybody. I
I
mean,
know it's like and the road goes through Baltimore. The road goes through there, so it's
yep.
man. I mean, if you look at the two teams that they knocked off and I don't know, but
Yeah, we'll
they
see.
yeah we sure will. Uh, Definitely will see.
Yeah, time will tell.
So
Time
you
will tell.
yeah. So what's your prediction as far as your score on the game between the last game of the year, Green Bay and Chicago?
Um, I think honestly, um, that's going to be interesting. If the Bears show up and Fields shows up and plays the game the way it should be played, they play smart. It'll probably be a close game. I mean, it could be easily like a 28-14 game, maybe something like that, um, in the favor of the Bears. I mean, I don't. I mean, because if the Bears really get on a roll and the defense starts to really play the way they've been playing,
Mm-hmm.
I think Green Bay could be in a lot of trouble. I
Right.
really do because the Bears have really, huh, with the couple of people they brought in have been a difference maker on defense. I think Green Bay's in a lot of trouble. I mean,
Yeah.
if they can even score a couple of touchdowns, I'll be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly have a lot of faith in the Bears right now.
Yeah. But in saying that, you look at where I mean, yeah, the Vikings are having trouble offensively right now. But this year, the Vikings defense has been, one of the top defenses in the league.
Yeah,
And Green Bay went in there yesterday, and they just made uh, the Vikings defense non-relevant. If you look at it.
yeah. But you look at the Bears versus Minnesota. The Bears in the last 6 weeks have come to life. Look at they brought in
Mm-hmm. Oh
Montez,
yeah.
and Montez, what an incredible addition to the defense for the Bears. I mean, he
Mm-hmm.
has been truly the difference maker, and with that, he has actually pulled everybody with him up. So when you have somebody like Montez that comes in there, and what an incredible player. I mean, he is just making a difference in the locker room, on the field. In general, he's making a difference, and these players want to play better, stronger. And that team that the Green Bay Packers played and beat the last time is not the same team that's going to walk on that field against them next week. Big difference. Big
Mm-hmm.
difference. And if Justin Fields and DJ Moore can connect the way they've been, Cole Kmet, uh, yeah, I mean, Herbert, if these all can really put these pieces together, they're going to have a hell of a time beating them.
Okay. I mean that's yeah that's could and Green Bay has been. I mean they actually been a little bit streaky if you take like the last 3 weeks,
Right.
3 4 because they were I mean they started out where they were like at the beginning of the year where they was like okay they went and they took care of business, and this is a slam against the Bears, but they took care of business against the Bears. The Bears were
Mm-hmm.
not playing like they are now. Uh,
Right.
then I also think that some of the the that first game between the two of them, I think the Bears just thought it was going to be so much easier without Aaron Rodgers, so they wasn't as prepared as they should have been.
Yeah.
That first game. So I don't see where it's I think it's going to be a competitive game.
Yeah. It is going
I
to be competitive,
I
but
I wouldn't be surprised if either one won. To tell you the truth, because the Bears have been playing hot as of late. You
yeah.
know, I
Yeah,
could
they're
see
coming
either
to
team
life.
winning.
And
Yeah.
I think the Bears defense is going to go a long way.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, like I said, and you know, I knew it was not possible. It was so far outside of the realm of
Hmm.
possibility. But it was funny the last couple of weeks that everybody was like, well, if this happens, and the Bears make the playoffs. And I'm like, yeah, I said that would be hilarious just
Hmm.
because that would be the worst case scenario for the Detroit Lions.
Right.
It would be the absolute worst case scenario because I think personally, if the Bears would have got in, I think they could have been a spoiler for any team.
Hmm.
It's. I
Well,
mean,
the Bears are playing that good right now. I'll tell you, even Green Bay could be a spoiler.
yeah, but I
Look what
think
they
that
did
we're
on thing,
we're going to beat them. They're not going to be in the
yeah,
playoffs.
right. But you know what? I do need to do one thing. I had a request.
There you go.
uh,
So,
yeah.
so is that accurate? Is if Bears beat Green Bay next week, does that take the Packers out?
Oh yeah, it does. It does.
So,
Yeah, it does.
so
Okay.
then you
So
guys just have to worry about Minnesota.
yeah, right. So Tim was a Lions season ticket holders when Dutch Clark, aka Flying Dutchman, and Old Master QB, not a shoot. And I wasn't even born then. 1931, 1932, 1934, and 1938. Tim
Mm.
played. Remember? Oh boy, he loves to tease me about my age. Is there a bear growl for you there too?
No,
No,
No, not for me. I
no,
don't growl. No,
you don't growl.
no, no.
Okay,
I have one that does growl, but not very loud.
all right. Oh, yeah. I do remember those days, Granddad's at 12. I do remember those days. Ah, oh,
Yeah. So can't wait for the game today. It's going to be something to see.
mm-hmm. Val, Val growls. Oh,
You okay?
God. have Have you heard from Val lately or not? I
I
know
see
I
her on
have.
Facebook. I see her post on Facebook, but I haven't really directly heard from her.
No.
I mean, I
Okay.
guess she's doing pretty good in Texas.
Yeah, she seems to be doing better there, so
That's a
that's
good
good.
thing.
Yeah, I drove past their house the other day, and it does look like somebody's in there getting it cleaned up and stuff. I think so. Oh, the Rose Bowl, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, we go again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're having internet issues again, or?
Well, problems with Apple earbuds.
Oh.
Again, it's that proprietary garbage that causes problems.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So it makes it a little bit difficult because then it unconnects one thing, connects another thing, it loses a connection. And so, yes, it makes it very challenging when you're trying to talk and you got different things that keep connecting and unconnecting. As
Okay.
you would say, I'm having technical difficulties.
You're hearing different voices.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I really don't know how Val is doing, but I think she's doing all right. I did see her wish Happy New Year's.
Yeah. Well, that's good that she's doing better.
Yeah. What a drag. What?
So they are trying to fix that house up over there.
Well, I think so. I mean I went past it and I seen that there was dumps outside, so I think they're probably
Well,
yeah
that's good.
yeah. No, I don't think the Bordeaux family has it anymore. I know that it was uh, probably went to taxes. Somebody bought off that way. So,
Yeah.
but there,
Well,
whoever has it, there was a lot of work that needed to be done in that house. I know it needed a new roof. I know. Yeah, I don't want to say too many things over the air, you know, because there's a lot of things I know about the house that.
yeah. Well, the town is trying to right side up a lot of wrongs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting I watch it on the news and stuff, but I still have my rants. I always rant with my wife about it. It's one of those terrible things, but they're trying to do better with it.
I think it probably got the tax probably through tax sale because I know a couple years ago it was getting to that point that it was going to go. So I think probably tax sale and then, but yeah, but like you said, they are investing a lot in that area right now. I think they've gotten a lot of federal government money in that, which that area needs it. I mean, that area's been
Yeah,
depleted,
yeah, they do.
depleted. I
Yeah.
mean,
So time will tell.
yeah,
You need a different show for that one.
yeah, we do. We need, yeah, totally different. And this is actually Maniac Sports and Entertainment now because sometimes when we have shows at night, it gets way into different different stuff. So
Yeah, I'm afraid they would shut me down if they heard me rant about it, but that's just me because I think there's just a lot to be said there, but time will tell.
mm, yep,
Oh, and for me, oh, I can't wait till this weather breaks.
yeah. Oh, what you want the snow?
No, I want the weather to be done and gone. I want it warm.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I know grandfather asked how how the weather is out here. It's cold, but it's not snowing at least.
It's cold enough I can't get out and ride my bicycle, so there is that.
That's true.
But I'm going to pop out of here, Tim.
Hmm.
Try to have a good rest of
Okay.
your day. I got to get the rest of my day started.
All right. Yeah. Go Michigan.
Yeah, go
Go
blue.
Yeah. Go blue. That's for sure. Yeah.
Take
All
care.
right. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Vince. Thanks for hopping on. I appreciate it. And yeah, your views are always welcome. You're always welcome to come in here too. You know, uh, even if you do throw jabs at my lines, but
Hey, they're still a good team. They got a
yeah,
chance to win, so keep cheering them on, and hopefully we're going to see something good for them.
yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. Yeah. Well, thanks again. And I know you do owe me where you got to dress up in some Lions gear from that one bet we had.
So maybe I'll do that in a couple weeks for you. How's that sound?
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds
We'll see
good.
you on the flip side.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Take care and thank you. All right. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I'm Michigan 35, Alabama 21. That's my game. That my game prediction for the Rose Bowl. Uh, but yeah, I've been on for hour and a half now. Is there anything else anybody else wants to say? Um, good luck in next week, Miami and Buffalo. I know Grandice is up for Buffalo is like your Green Bay, you know, and I mean I good luck. I hope you guys can go in there. I hope you guys beat Buffalo next week. Uh, and that's the Dolphins, you know, because I mean I know some of the things you were telling me about the way things are in Buffalo about the stadiums and the fans and hey, it's yeah, I cannot agree with the way the fans have. I mean, it's kind of like some of the B hockey games, you know, that I have seen in that. So, but yeah, I'll definitely be back on Wednesday at 11 o'clock. Maybe 10:30 if I don't. You know, but this year it's a new year, so I'm going to try to keep the 11 o'clock. Get back on the 11 o'clock time slot. Uh, that's what I want to do. Um, but I do got some stuff I gotta get done today. It's been great. Happy New Year, everybody. Forward down the field, charging team that will not yield. And when the blue and silver wave comes, let's just go ahead and kill those. I mean, stack the refs. I'm joking, but yeah, thank you. Uh, this is Maniac Tim from Maniac Sports. You guys have a good one. Roar! And with that, I think I'm going to end